Money never had a problem with me. I had a problem with money. Based on what I knew, based on what I was told, based on my experiences, I had a problem with money, and that's why money didn't come to me. Once I resolved that, then things changed. It's your favorite Dr. Honey, Dr. Faith Abraham, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we're going to talk about the money blocks that kept me broke. And I'm really going to do my best to breeze through this and not slow down and not think about it, just go straight into it and just let it all hang out. Because for my female entrepreneurs, my creatives, my multi-passionate people, money blocks is one of those things that we really don't realize or recognize that they're there until things get really, really bad. And so some of the things that I'm going to share may apply to you, may not apply to you, but the whole point is to give you the opportunity to just look inward. And at the end of the video, I'm telling you, I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do to get rid of those money blocks and be a conduit for money, for wealth, for generational curses of poverty to be broken, because it's not cute nor funny to be in poverty or be at the poverty line, below the poverty line. I think one of the greatest sins is to be impoverished, because it really steals the destiny, the potential, the goodness, the talents, the gifts, the skills that are within you, because you don't have the opportunity to hone them, to grow them, to share them with the world so other people can benefit from what God has placed inside of you. So poverty is one of those things that really exploits humanity. And I detest poverty to my core. But I recognize that especially in my healing journey and my entrepreneurial journey, that I had money blocks, or in other words, limiting beliefs that were holding back money from finding me, from locating me, from wanting to be around me. Because according to the Bible, mammon, money, is a spirit. So you have to know your power, dominion, and authority as a spiritual being in order for you to deal with money. And so if you're scared of money, or if you feel like, oh, money is for evil people, well, obviously you love God and you're not trying to be evil. So you're going to stay away as much as you can from anything that represents evil. And if you think money is evil, then you're going to stay away from money, and money's going to stay away from you. If you grew up with, well, money doesn't grow on trees, and every time you would ask for money, or you needed money so that you can sign up for a club or sign up to do an extracurricular activity or buy something, just like shoes or even a candy or something like that, and you were always met with angst and tightness and anger, that's going to repel you. That's going to set up a wall within you, like, oh, there must be something wrong with money to facilitate a emotional response like that in the person I'm asking this money for, right? For many women and women of color, we are told, money is what your daddy has. It's what the men have. We just take care of home. We just depend on them. We let them run that. We let them take care of that. That's the man's place. That's what they do. So that it's like, okay, I must not be worthy enough, or I may not be qualified enough to have money, manage money, flip money, increase money, multiply money. You have that. Then you also have people where they have this belief that money is the root of all evil. And you are wrong. Perverting scriptures, it says the love of money is the root of all evil. A great example of this is if you watch the show American Greed. You see people who love money, and you can tell they love money because all sorts of evil flow from them. They're willing to have people unalived. They're willing to extort people, backstab people. They're willing to do all kinds of unmoral, unethical things just to acquire money at the stake of other people's lives and livelihood. Okay, that is the love of money. But for us who are spiritual beings, we should know that money is our servant. It is meant to serve us. It is meant to give us the ability to do these great things and accomplish our purposes on the earth. It is meant as a means to bless, to be a blessing. We saw that with Abraham. He was so blessed that he had his nephew Lot live with him. They had so much. It was just so much land, so many things around them. And guess what? There's people started fighting. It was like infighting, honey. It was all this kind of drama going on. This one was doing this one was doing that. It was just all kinds of stuff. So then Abraham had to step back and say, okay, tell you what, to keep the peace, you look over there, whatever it is that you want, take it. I'll give it to you. It's for you. Now, here's the thing. People talk about that part of scripture all the time, but people don't think about the mentality behind that. In order for you to give up something that rightfully belongs to you, that you have been blessed with, and just say, take whatever you want just so we can maintain peace, there's a level of blessing, abundance. That's an abundance mindset, first of all. Okay, prosperity that is within you to where you don't feel like you're losing anything by giving over something that rightly belongs to you. Let that sizzle and settle in your spirit. So understanding that money is just a conduit. It's just something that allows you to do and be the great person that you are, to help others, to bless others, to do great things for other people. That's what it is. And so it's nothing to be scared of. Money just exposes what's inside of you. So if you are a bad person, or, however you define bad person, then that money is just going to 10x that badness. But if you're a good person, a whole nature person, a loving person, compassionate, it's just going to 10x that which is already within you. So I just wanted to share that so that you can see these are the type of beliefs and value systems that we have. And any belief that you have creates a thought. And the thoughts that you have will facilitate, it'll literally trigger and conjure up emotions. And then whatever emotion that you have, you're going to act and behave according to that emotion. And so recognizing, that was the biggest thing for me, just recognizing that I had these beliefs about money and where money comes from and people who have it and what they do with it, that limited and hindered my ability to flow in a way that money could come to me so I could do the good that I wanted to do in the world. So here's 3 things that I did to turn my money situation around. So number 1 was just recognizing my ADHD brain. Look here, I have a lot of interests. I love hair, and not just my natural hair. I love my natural hair, and I have stuff for my natural hair. And I love wigs, so I have a lot of wigs and good quality wigs. And I have to have stuff to maintain those wigs. And I love journaling and paper, planners and pens and sticky notes and, all of that stuff. So I have paper, like stationery and stuff like that I love. And I love electronics, and I love Apple products. I have all these different interests, and it just depends on when you meet me in the timeline of my life that you're going to get that out of me. And then if I have a subject that I'm interested in, then I'm going to be buying books, I'm going to be researching, I'm going to be reading, and so I spend a lot of money on that. So understanding that because I have all these different interests, I have to reel myself in. I have to really sit down with myself and say, okay, because half the time I can make a purchase and don't remember that I made a purchase until the package comes, and I'm like, oh crap, I bought this stuff and that was like a couple $100, and then I got this stuff and that was $100 there, and and it starts to add up. So I felt like, oh, there's never enough money. No, I had plenty of money. A lot of money comes into my hands. Now, how I was managing it was the problem, and me not managing my brain and how I know I'm just naturally wired was a problem. So it prevented me from taking money and putting it in avenues and channels that would bring money back to me. So I had to change that, and I had to fix that. So what did I do? I literally started getting the big Post-it notes, and writing out my purchases, putting it on a sticky note in my office so I can see and remember what it was that I bought, what my fixation is for the week, month, whatever season. And that would help me to regulate myself, like, okay, well, that I don't really need that right now, or let me just wait and see, and let me, so I started managing myself better. The second thing that goes in line with the ADHD brain is having Mr. Budget. So sometimes, because I am generous, my husband and I do a lot of charity work, and we do a lot of generous work, and we do post it online because we do want to encourage and foster that mindset and heart set of generosity. That's what we're called and blessed by God to do. So we do put that on there, but we get a lot of people who reach out to us to do stuff for them. And then we also, have our 3 kids, and I'm really big on allowing the kids to explore whatever gifts, talents that they have that requires money. And then, of course, growing our businesses, so not just taking the profits and eating it, but reinvesting it back in the business. Well, if you're doing all of that, you're circulating all this money, guess what? You need to have a budget. And Mr. Budget says no. And I would literally not feel bad for telling people, no, I can't loan that money out. No, I can't do that for you. No, that's not on my agenda this month. Maybe I can check it out next month or next quarter or next year, and not feel bad because I didn't say no. Mr. Budget said no. And if Mr. Budget says no, Mr. Budget says no. And I set my budget in accordance to my goals, what I'm trying to accomplish that year. And then, of course, what I want to see happen in the lives of my kids, myself, my husband, us as a couple, our families, the orphanages and the kids, in Africa, just all the stuff that we have going on. So it wasn't me saying no to people. Mr. Budget said no. And Mr. Budget says no to the kids too, when they just come up with random stuff that they want to buy. And when we're walking down the aisles at Target, which is why I don't even go to Target with them anymore, but that's another story for another day. The third thing that I had to learn how to do was not spend the money before the money came. Now, back in my day, we used to, this is a long time ago, I'm telling on myself, but we used to float checks. If you know, you know. And so that was also mentality of brokenness, of deficit, of lack. And so I had to break that habit that was actually costing me, because before the money came in, I was already spending it. I'm put it on this, I'm gonna put it on that, I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna get this, blah, blah. I was spending the money before the money even came in. Instead of spending the money before it comes in, now I spend time with the money before I send it out, before I circulate it, before I buy anything, before I do anything with it. And when I say I sit with it, in other words, I sit with it to say, this feels good. I like the way this feels. How it feels like freedom. It feels like she did something. It feels, I have to feel those feelings so that I'm programming my mind on how I want to feel around money. Big deal. And so when I started just spending time with money versus spending money before it came in, now I can make conscious purchases. I could plan out, this is what I'm going to get, this is what I'm investing in, this is what I'm circulating on. I do want this, but I'm going to wait for that and I see if something else comes in or something else works out. Y'all, just that alone, slowing down and being a conscious spender, has saved me so much money and has just shifted my mindset to a whole nother level. Here's another one. I have a bonus for you to help break the limiting beliefs and shift your sentiments and emotions around money. There's this play money, and I'll put it in the description box. There's this play money that I got from Amazon, and it's like $10,000 in $100 bills. It says play money on it, so you can't do nothing fraud. But I used to take that money and do two things. One, I would stack the money in front of my mirror in the bathroom so that when I looked down on it, when I looked at the money, it was a reflection. So it looked like a whole lot more money than was actually there. And I just left it there. I never touched it. And I was like, dang, look at that money. It looks so good. I'm cool. And I was allowing myself to deconstruct and deprogram my mind from being anxious about money, fearing money, not liking it, not knowing what to do with it, being uncomfortable. No, this money serves me. It's in my space. I regulate. I say what it's going to do and what it's not going to do, right? Then the other thing I would do is I would take the money and I would just like throw it around. And I would just make a mess and I just throw it around. And I'm like, oh my gosh, using my affirmations. Oh my gosh, look at this money all over the place. Everywhere I look, it's all this money. And I'm cleaning up and I'm just picking up the money. And I'm just picking up the money. And like, it's always everywhere. Look at this one behind the chair. Look at you. You can't hide from me. I'm always finding you. You're always finding me. I put out too much value to not get the money that comes to me. Man, oh man. You know, and I know it sounds corny, but it's the corniest things that make the biggest change and shift in your life. So get over it. Stop get over it and just live out what you know you are meant to do, be, and have. That's all I got for you. If you like this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and share this with somebody because they need to know. We do not need to be scared of money. Money is our servant. It serves us. And as it serves us, we serve the world as we were created in his image and likeness to do. With that being said, I've loaded up a new video for you. I will see you there.